I have the most exciting astral travel message for you. And it's so funny because right when opening up that reading, there was a thought form in my field of start that again. And I'm sensing that from your field where there's something that maybe you had previously wished that you could start over again or do that differently. But the thing is, it happened exactly the way that I'm hearing not needed to, but the way that the soul asked in order to actually be prepared for this next, I'm hearing life event that you're drawing into your experience. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the astral travel messages that we had, and then we're going to do a integrated reading on it. But let me go ahead and I'm going to read to you guys my notes because I don't remember everything off by heart. So I was being shown a scene of you getting outside of your comfort zone, and particularly I was being shown moon lines when it comes to local astrocartography, and basically looking at the map. And the moon line in general, just when it comes to a fundamental basis, it can be places that really reflect your inner world. It can be places that are really great to live. I'm hearing it's advantageous to your comfort zone. It can potentially be somewhere that you just feel at home in. So this person was looking for their moon line, but they were also being guided to step outside of their moon line, which tells me that you're being called outside of your comfort zone at this stage of your life. You're actually being called to disrupt your comfort zone, to actively disrupt it. And even though you saw it mapped out like a line that you could consciously trust, there was a moment where you wanted to actually make the decision to shift beyond a familiar space. And when you did that, something began to shift. Then I was showing two people that were entering into this open, white, essentially a place that they would stay, but it was still being renovated, which tells me that you are the architect of your reality and what it is that you're going to be designing for this next theme, this next stage, this next phase, this next, what do we call it? Like not a series, but this new next field in which the vessel is going to experience itself moving through. And you were basically being shown that people were going to be entering into the space like new energies that are walking into your reality. And the environment itself had already changed to the point where it had expanded. It had opened up significantly because it was blank. So this is like a blank canvas in your life where you get to choose what goes onto the image. Like your world was being prepared before you could even fully step into it. And now you're stepping into the world that is awaiting for you to conduct it. That's what it feels like. And it's so interesting because on the playback, it almost looks like something is glitching. Okay, so it kind of feels like there's something that's going to be shifting. Like one moment it's there and one moment it wasn't. Now, the next scene was you embarking on a journey as I was showing this person ventured beyond their comfort zone, and that's where the opportunity actually awaited them. It was from that point that new things began popping into their simulation. And that's how it works, right? The moments that you cross that internal threshold, external reality rearranges itself to meet you where you are. So if you're open and receptive to new things within your field, well, the new things in your field are open to you. They're like, hey, signal, transmission being sent out, received. You send out a signal into the quantum field literally receives that transmission and it sends you something back in resonance. So if you are open, you're like, I'm open to new experiences, I'm open to invitations, I'm open to fill in the blank, that thing, you send out that signal for that thing to come and find you, and that's where you are in your life. I'm going to do a reading around what that signal is with the Cosmos Oracle message, but that's a line beyond your comfort zone, and that's where the opportunities exist for you. And it's not within the thing that you already know. You're being called to just go beyond that, all right? And when you choose to move into that space, new environments, new people, new opportunities and experiences, they begin to populate your everyday reality. I'm hearing what will soon become your new normal everyday reality. Yeah, it's like the simulation is being updated and it's responding to your courage. It's responding to you following your heart and honoring the soul's journey. And it's not something that's random. It's not something that's a wild card. It's actually something that you're just drawing in through resonance alone. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a Cosmos Oracle message for you. It's like you're being shown your new timeline that awaits you. And I don't want to say new, but it's going to feel like something that you're stepping into. It's going to feel new just because it's beyond something that you've known. You're stepping into a territory now where you have no reference point. There is nothing to really compare it to. And all it takes is for you to cross it. Okay. Ooh. Oh, being shown a crossword, not word cross, a crossword puzzle. Particularly like a word that you've been looking for. It was already within what appeared to be like disorderly, but there was a secret order, and your awareness is like discovering it, and then you get to cross that off around. I'm seeing like a bucket list or things that you haven't experienced that you've been wanting to within this lifetime. Okay. It's like in this lifetime, I have that on my bucket list. In this lifetime, I have that. But there's something around you have like quite a few. Okay, collapse, collapse. There's a collapse in the simulation. Collapse talks about an old way of doing things that is literally collapsing. Now, proton talks about the fast to do something as a positive electrical charge that's coming from the center core of your being. So this collapse is actually a really good thing because it's a collapse of your comfort zone. Let me go ahead and read collapse for you so you can see. It reminds me of that song of Eminem. I listen to that when I'm in the gym, particularly when I was running long distance. Like, what is that? How does it open up again, guys? It's like, if you ever feel like you're gonna give up, it kind of reminds you of that. So, system fader, it's like lose yourself in the music, right? It's like it's a feeling. It's like you're losing yourself, or what your comfort zone. It's like you're losing your comfort zone, yet you're finding your true self in the middle of it all. That's almost what it feels like. I feel like just going like this because I'm looking at someone who, or I'm looking at you, right? And you are about to walk into so many beautiful experiences. I'm hearing you don't even know what's in store for you. And can you trust everything that's in store for you? And walk in not knowing, and allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised upon these things actually discovering you. What a privilege it is for these opportunities and people to meet you on the path that you're walking. What a privilege it is to be the one consciousness that's experiencing itself and meeting itself over and over again. All right. I'm still with you. I just need to plug this in real quick. So again, it's like you're plugged back into the system, but it's different this time, right? It's like you're plugged in with a different level of understanding. So anyway, this talks about system failure, and I'm seeing this as like your comfort zone has failed to bring you new experiences. Collapse refers to the destruction or ruin of a system, a stoppage or significant decrease in the level of activity. It's so funny because I'm seeing ruin as ruinas, or like ruins of ancient buildings that hold so much history. And I'm seeing that as something that you're soon to look back to. And you already have a reference point for this. That's the funny thing about you. You already have a reference point when it comes to looking at the ruins of your life, like Odin, who literally has that blank slate. He is the in ruins, okay, which is okay, also a play on word for another divination tool. The blank ruin is Odin's ruin. So it's a hanged man energy. And actually the hanged man talks about sacrifice in my Cosmos Visions deck. And sacrifice in etymology is to make something sacred once again. So it's almost like you're sacrificing your comfort zone. And in Corbin, which is Hebrew, it means something new is drawing near as a result of that sacrifice. So it's almost like you're sacrificing your comfort zone. Oh, it reminds me of artifice, like it's the crossing the passage card in the Shaman's Dream Oracle message. And it says, will you sacrifice the known for the discovery of what awaits you in the unknown? Oh, you're in such an interesting time in your life right now. So collapse is the ruins, something that you're going to look back at and be like, oh my gosh, those timelines seem like they're so far from where I currently am operating. And you're there, but you're about to be there looking back at where you are now. It's like your future self is looking at you and is like, wait, I don't think you understand everything that we have in store for you. Right? It's like that, but in the best way possible. It feels like you're so oblivious to this as well. I don't even feel like you know how good things are about to get. That's like the really exciting thing about tapping into this energy. Yeah, it's like you're completely oblivious to this. Okay, so it's a culmination point. It talks about energies that are necessary to complete a cycle that have already been obtained and they must now be rechanneled. So there's enough life force and energy and momentum that you've put into a path where it's not a dead end, but it almost feels like, you know, when you're doing one routine, maybe like you're lifting, for example, the same weights. This is the only thing that comes up in my head. And you're not progressing when it comes to your strength, then you have to start doing progressive overload, or you have to switch up your routine because you're hitting a plateau. It's like literally your body or the universe telling you something needs to shift, something needs to change. Maybe that's about you being in a job and you want to grow and you want maybe a higher position, maybe in management, or maybe, you know, whatever it is, like climbing up the ladder of success in whatever definition that could be for you, but there's just no more room to grow. It's like that timeline or way of doing things is no longer conducive for your next expression that is desiring to unfold. So that may require a different position, that may require you being redirected elsewhere, because things will turn out the way you hoped, but maybe not the way that the human plans when it comes to that timeline or that specific way of doing things. So the way that you're creating a reality may actually end up being very, very different or looking very, very different. I'm hearing start considering things that you previously felt like weren't an option to you. So it's a combination point. This is not to say that it's negative, but rather the previous ways that the system had operated has now come to an end. The patterns may regroup to create a new way of working or not. The collapse destroys the old ways to see new links being formed or reborn. We cannot predict if that will be sustained or instead new links will be formed. So I'm seeing this as like synapses within the brain, which is basically reinforced ways of being, right? Reinforced ways of thinking, feeling about yourself, and also doing things that then create this new connection point where it becomes a part of who you are. So for example, it may feel uncomfortable first, but the more that you repeat these things, that repetition creates, I'm hearing not only mastery, but it allows you to master new ways of being where that actually ends up becoming your new normal. So something that previously, like initially feels like uncomfortable actually ends up being you creating a habit. And then over like 21 days, right, then you're literally forming new neural pathways within the brain, and then that's projected energetically into the hologram around you. If reunification is possible, then the system will be reformed from another place. All that it's clear is that it will either be a new way or it will not. So it's completely up to you whether you want to create these new inroads, if you want to forge this new path. But right now, it kind of reminds me of a sextile aspect where, you know, it's not that you lose anything if you don't take advantage of the opportunity appearing in your field, but there is an opportunity to actually discover or receive a gift, because that's what sextile is. It's like a gift if you do apply yourself, right? So it does require some kind of application to actively disrupt old ways of being. Now, let me go ahead and read Proton. It's almost like, oh my God, if you do this thing, I don't think you know everything that we have in store for you. It's that type of energy. So I'm kind of seeing it as, are you gonna do it? It kind of reminds you of a moment of like a movie and you're watching the main character really begin to step into their power or discover this ability, but what are they going to do with it? You know, Proton talks about going from the small to the large with total positivity. So if this feels extreme, if this feels like it's a large step, that's because it's a quantum leap. Can you bring safety into your body as you expand into the new terrain? And how far will you allow yourself to expand beyond what it is that seems normal before you shrink or return back to your old ways of being? Will you allow yourself to expand into a timeline that is beyond recognition? Will you allow yourself to actually do things that beyond the version of self that you always saw in the mirror? That's what it is. Because it can be like it talks about doing it with a positive electrical charge though, which is like looking in the mirror. And how trippy would it be to see your mirror be a parallel version of self, like their reflection doing something else? It's like you're there like this, and in your reflection in the mirror is like, you know, it's like what would that moment feel like? That's what it feels like is happening. And I'm hearing that's what people are going to be seeing. You're creating a new reference point, not just for yourself, but also those around you, because you're no longer reinforcing the same expectations that everyone else has had of you, but then also you've always had of yourself. That's completely shifting. And as you do that, that actually breaks down those synapses. It breaks down even those nucleus of a family that you have attracted into your experience, and then new links are formed. That's basically what they're showing me. And that's also timelines. Like, you're no longer reinforcing the same timelines or the same behavior. We're literally new rows that are created from that point. So that requires repetition. That's something that and we just had 1515 on the clock there, which is, I believe, it may be the creative and financial opportunities are upon you, and there's loads of endeavors as you utilize your abilities. That could be a specific message for someone. I do believe it's a wisdom card. Yeah. Let me go ahead and take a look at another message for you. So this was for the astral travel of the comfort zone. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a shaman's dream oracle message, and then also a magic of the gathering message too, to take a look at the theme and then also the character that you're being called to embody. Moon Maiden. Why you know? Literally, right? Moon Maiden. And look at what we have at the base. At the base, we have Fool's Embrace and Transmuting Pain, which is being in a place of never did this, you've never done that, you're experiencing something totally new. Moon Maiden is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and we haven't actually received it for a while. Let me read it for you, right? New ideas, beginnings, and curiosity. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet of yourself that's aching to be shown to the world. We're both thinking the same thing, right? We have that established. Cool. Those qualities that you've been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now is the time to come forward in a full splendor. Announce the new to yourself first, then reveal it slowly to the world, like the waxing moon. Allow others to be as surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. It's time to set yourself free. The Moon Maiden belongs only to herself, as she's summoning the parts of you that challenge convention and refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed or put inside of a golden cage. The Moon Maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have a radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume as a given, and do not collude with the drama around you. Become an unpredictable yet an eminently reliable friend. The Moon Maiden invites you to answer to yourself and the Moon Maiden invites you to answer only to yourself and reminds you that you're not anyone's property. Be sure that you're true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or job want to capture your light inside of a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion just unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you're ready to return. The moon doesn't ask for permission to rise, and it does so unfailingly, right? That's the theme in your life. Now let's take a look at the character with the Cosmos Magic of the Gathering. You have two cards. Ooh, Inner Nature and Mental Reflections. I absolutely love these two characters. So I'm going to go ahead and read them real quick. Inner Nature talks about find a way to live in harmony with your nature, including your internal. Listen to your body, breathe and watch your mind. We often act unconsciously from a past program. So it's like you're programming your avatar differently, right? And that's easier said than done, but it is something that if you're consistent with, the lights have just gone off, that you'll see things from a different perspective, okay? Is that fine? Is the lighting still fine? It's not that dark, right? Okay, you'll see things from a different perspective. As human beings, we're always evolving and changing. We are overcoming our limited awareness to move into an enlightened future. See what parts of your inner nature you need to overcome or let go of so that you can evolve into a mature and powerful version of yourself. Then we also have mental reflections, which is also another super power. I'm hearing almost like superfood, like super nourishing card. The world is a reflection of the collective human mind, of which our particular mind is a part. If we can free our mind from this hall of mirrors, we can bring conscious order into the collective mind and reflect a new way of being into the whole. Where are you focusing your awareness? If you focus on negativity, you'll find it reflected everywhere. It's okay to be aware of of the negative, but what you focus on grows. So focus on what is good and move towards the light. So that's how you're approaching this, okay? You can see if you focus on hostility, then you'll find hostility everywhere you go. If you focus on seeing life as a series of opportunities where really those around you are giving you the opportunity, that other versions of you allowing you to do something that you haven't done before, where you get to reinforce new ways of being. I'm going to give you guys this example, and I talk about this a lot in the Soul's Odyssey readings when we talk about, like, you know, past lives and South Node and North Node aspects. The South Node is your comfort zone, so I feel like this is from lifetime to lifetime. And I basically speak about resonant characters from your past life that bleed into this one, okay, parallel lives that are most in resonance. And in this lifetime, you're being called to utilize those gifts in a different way that they haven't seen before, and also you haven't allowed yourself to experience before. So when someone has a certain expectation of you based upon the energetic signature of how they've experienced you, of course that's their point of reference for you. You've kept reinforcing that same way of being. But the moment that you begin to reinforce new ways of being, that change can be uncomfortable because it can also confront where another fractal is not ready to confront that change within themselves, or honor that change, or surrender to that change, because change is constant. So you're being given a series of opportunities to do something that you haven't done before, something that others haven't seen you do before, and to become a version of self that you haven't felt safe to embody up until now. You're not asking for permission or even acceptance, but you're becoming your own witness. For if you walk life in any other way, it compromises your integrity in the process. I'm hearing you are an integral part of your journey. Show up for yourself in all the ways that you were previously unable to. And know that in doing that, you also show others what's possible. So I'm going to love and leave you right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing, because we'd love to have you around. I would love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. There is a waiting list though. I won't be starting that waiting list until about April 20th onwards, just because I'm still traveling through Mexico, and then I'll settle down somewhere and start that process for you guys. Also, check out Unlisted if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones. Today I have rhodonite on, which is the middle one. I also have kunzite, which is right there, and then this is rose quartz. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries. I also highly recommend this blend, by the way. If you do have them, try it on because it's such a beautiful energy. And yeah, until next time, bye.
Clouds in the sky don't care if I stay.